Have you been thinking about getting into Forex trading? Forex trading opens up a world of opportunity for those who know how to do it properly. You can experience financial freedom and reap tremendous rewards for your trading skills. Unfortunately, many programs make big promises and throw students into the trading market without the proper knowledge and expertise to succeed. Fortunately, there is a solution. Great White FX Academy is the best place to start your Forex trading journey with the tools, resources, and education necessary to help you thrive in the market. Great White FX is an online Forex training platform that provides technical training that will help you succeed. It is of the utmost importance to have a proper qualitative education to participate in Forex trading, and that is exactly what Great White FX focuses on. You can reach us on Facebook at Great White FX and Forex Educational Academy, on Instagram at Great White FX, on Twitter at Great White FX, or call us at 234-803-930-61888.
Good evening. Good evening. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes into the chat box. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes into the chat box. Good evening, all. You're welcome to today's weekly outlook with Great White FX for the 20th of January 2020. So I wish you all thank you all for coming. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get down into what we are expecting from the market this week. So as always, we start with our fundamental outlook. Basically, I don't trade the news, but what I do is you need to be aware of the time in which the news is going to be released so that you will be aware if it would have any impact on the currency pair you are looking to trade or you have a position already on. So looking at Monday, the whole of Monday is very, very empty. All day USD bank holiday. Then Tuesday we have Bank of Japan outlook for Tuesday is relatively calm. I think the firework starts from Wednesday. Bank of Canada rates news. This is very, very important. Then unemployment news for the AUD. Then Euro monetary policy. That one is another heavy firework. And all these other ones. I think the fireworks starts from Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday is cool and calm. So with that aside, let's get down to our chart. Let's see what our charts have to do. So as always, we will start with the dollar index. As always, our go-to pair is the dollar index. As a pair, we will start with. So looking at the dollar index from a daily point of view, let me split it. So I'm looking at the daily. Is the daily view, and this is the weekly view. So looking at the dollar index, if we look at the dollar index from this point of view, this looks like a bullish formation. This is a morning star formation, which points to further strength in the dollar index. But if you look at the dollar from the daily view, it has this little obstacle here to take care of. And you have this prior neckline. So that neckline is coming in around this area. And so you see, there's a possibility that the dollar index might still move higher. That is dependent on the fact of it staying above 97.56. If it's able to stay above 97.56 on the Monday close, then you might see the dollar index challenging it. Because if you look at it from a daily point of view, it's still looking somehow on the downtrend. As you can see, still looking somehow on the downtrend. If you draw your trend line from this high down to this place, you can see the dollar index clearly at that level, clearly at this trend line, clearly at this trend line. So there's a possibility it might drop back. So looking at my intraday charting, this is what my intraday charting looks like. This is what the trend line I drew for you. This is it, the dollar index is at that level. So for the dollar index to continue his bullish run, you need to see something like this. If not, there is a possibility it may drop here. If this area holds as support, then you may see the dollar index move higher. So those are some of the things we are looking at on the dollar index. For now, is in resistance structure. Is at the resistance area. So what you'll be doing is you're not going to take a long trade at this level. Instead, you wait for a pullback area, which might come in here, or this rising trend line. And for a second test at this area. If it closes back above 98.82, then you might see further move up on the dollar index. But for now, it's at the resistance area. So we need to wait and see what happens at that resistance area before you could say whether it's bullish or bearish. Because if it gets rejected from that resistance area, it's going to go back down. So the next pair we're going to look at is gold. For now, if you look at gold on the weekly, that's a long up lower week. That's bullish. It's bullish on its own. And like I've always noted, when you have a pin bar like this, it's a bearish signal. Although it is bullish color, but it's a bearish signal. As long as price has not closed below the low of the pin bar, there is a tendency that it will still push to the upside. And as you can see on the weekly, it did not close below it. So if we're looking at gold now, there exists the possibility that price may still try to move higher. As you can see, there's this trend line. Then we have this low here. As long as this low here, let me put this here. As long as this low at 1536.01 holds, the low at 1536.01 holds, there's a possibility that we may see further movement. So how do you trade this? It's very simple. What you do is you, from the high to the low, you use your fib. Then you see where the 61.8 comes in, see where the 50% comes in. So price may come up to any of these levels before moving low. So that's it for gold. These are my intraday chart looks like. It's at the structural area. That's the structural area, and there's a rising channel. So this rising channel might give support for it to move higher. That's just it. That's it for gold. So these are the levels I'm looking at on gold. So the next one we're going to look at is USDCHF. So let's look at the USDCHF from now this is a bullish signal. This is a bullish signal. This is a morning star on the daily. The weekly with a long lower week. That's a bullish signal in and of its own. Let's see how's my intraday chart looking like. It will be complete with a break of this trend line to the top side. This trend line, it needs to break it to the top side because I think I have a long-term, I broke a long-term trend line. See this trend line? This trend line comes all the way somewhere down here. Comes all the way somewhere down here. Yep. From 83.54 to 91.92. As you can see, price has somehow breached that trend line. Although it has a bullish formation, the deal is it needs to clear above this falling trend line. If it's able to clear above this falling trend line, then we can see the pair is bullish. But for now, we'll be a little bit cautious to see what happens. Because it might come in to retest this trend line and drop further. Like I always say, you don't trade the candles blindly, you trade the candles against structure. So that's it for the USDCHF. Because if you look at the USDCHF, it's more like a downtrend. as you can see. Seems to be in a downtrend. There's a little battle here to hold. You don't have any higher high on the USDCHF. Now, instead, you're having a series of lower highs and lower lows. So it might just pull back up and drop back down. Next pair we're going to look at is EURUSD. So let's see what the EURUSD has for us this week. So looking at the EURUSD, this is a little bit technical. This pair is a little bit technical because if you look at this pair from the weekly, it seems to be this is a bearish formation. This is a bearish formation, and there is this rising trend line here. There is this rising trend line. Price is not so far from it. So there exists a possibility that price may drop to this trend line and bounce to the top side. There exists the possibility it may happen. So some people are already short. If you still have your short positions, you need to watch it here. Because once this trend line is broken to the downside, price will continue going. But should this trend line hold, you can see the trend line here. Should it hold, you might see a price move up to the top side. So let's see what we have here. So that's what we have here. In fact, there are two trend lines. You have this first one. This was a false break, and that's where price is sitting at this area because it came into this area and bounced. So now the question is, will it bounce? When price comes in here, is it going to bounce again? So how do you trade this intraday? It's very simple. If you're looking to continue with the short, with the move down, wait for price at 1.1330 to 1.1142. You wait for price here. Because there exists the possibility that this will bounce price. Remember where your dollar index is. Remember where your dollar index is. Let's check the dollar index. The dollar index is our resistance. And where's your EURUSD? EURUSD is at support. Your EURUSD is at support. So if you understand the way these things work, dollar index is a direct inverse of the EURUSD. So should the dollar index start to drop from his resistance structure, EURUSD is going to bounce from his resistance structure. Should the dollar index break his resistance structure, EURUSD is going to break the support structure. That's also what you have to be aware of. The next pair we're going to look at is the EURGBP. So it's been a little bit dicey to trade this week, this last few weeks. But this pair is just trying to move up, but it's a little bit of consolidation, as you can see here. These are my alerts. They are level alerts on this pair. But looking at it on the weekly, it has a long upper wick. It has a long upper wick. But you can see wicks to the top, wicks to the downside. There's a lot of indecision on this pair. A lot of indecision on this pair. If you're going to play this pair, it's ranging and you need to be a little bit careful. So let's see what we have on this pair. So looking at this pair, there is a channel here. It's a big channel here. Let me go up to my view so that you can see where the channel is coming from. That's the channel. So the channel is coming from. As you can see, that's the channel. So price has hit the stop side now. So what we're expecting from price, as you can see, and then there is a rising channel of salt here. There's a rising channel. So price ran into this structure here, this support structure, and bounced on Friday. So now, question is, there's a neckline resistance here. If I switch to my line chart, you can see it clearly. There's a neckline resistance. So now the question is, what will happen when price gets, if price gets rejected from here, it might come back low. But should price break above this structural point, that is, it close above 85.66, to send price towards this area. So the best bet is to wait for price here, or you wait for a retest here to go long. This seems to be for now the support structure, and this is a plausible resistance structure that's not been tested. So that is it for the EURGBP. The next pair we're going to look at is GBPUSD. Looking at GBPUSD, on the weekly, indecision, wicks to the top side, wicks to the downside. There's indecision in the candle. So how are you going to trade this? Well, ignore all these thoughts you have here. These are alert levels. So let me show you something on this pen. It's a rising channel. This is a channel. And see this point, this point, this point. Rejection from the top. Then you have this inner trend line here. As you can see, 1, 2. Price has tested it twice. Now, let me say, yes, twice. This is a third touch. This is a fourth one. So price has tested it twice and it has held. So now, given the way price closed on Friday, it's a bearish engulfing candle. It's a bearish engulfing candle. And the proximity of price to this level, and there's also structure here. There's also structure here. Let me see if I can come to the line chart. It's not very clear on line chart. It's clear. You can see the wicks here. See the wicks here. Falls break back down. You see it. So there's structure coming into here, and that is at this round figure. Psychological level 1.3 thousand. So how are you going to trade this pair? So very simple. Requires a little bit of best bet is to wait to see what happens here. Most likely, you might try to run down here. But if they fail, then you look for bearish evidence at any of these levels here. That is, from any of these levels here. Preferably, you wait for a retest of it because this pair is pretty fast. You might try to run back here. If it gets rejected, then it might come back. Looking at it, basically, it's a sideways range. So you just need to be a little bit careful. But if price comes down to this trend line, and this trend line moves, there's a possibility it will move back up. Because as you can see, it's closer to the trend line than to any of these upper levels. So it might drop a bit before moving back up. That is dependent on what the EURGBP does. So the next pair we're going to look at is the GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF, let's see how the GBPCHF closed up. Well. GBPCHF did a retest of this area. Let's look at it from the weekly. The level is not very clear on the weekly. The level is not very clear on the weekly. Let me see that. It's not very clear on the weekly. It's clearer on the daily. If you look at the daily structure, that's this candle there. This candle there. This candle there. Hello, can you guys still hear me clearly? Hello, can you still hear me clearly and see my screen? If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes. Hello? Hello? It's network issues. Sorry about that, it's network issues. The other network is not working so well, so this is my backup network. Sorry about the breakage, but the video will be uploaded on YouTube, so you could go to YouTube and watch it and get a full view of the video. So sorry about the breakage. Apologies about the breakage. There is not much I can do about it. So if you look at this pair here, this candle here, this candle held price for a period of time before it got broken somewhere here. So now that candle was what price ran into. Price ran above it and tested this second area. So you see the GBPCHF has closed back down. So now the question is, how do we trade this on intraday setup? So the best bet on this GBPCHF is to see what happens here. See what happens here. If this level holds that support, then you might wait for it here. But just be well aware, as you can see, this was prior support structure. This is a break and retest. There's a possibility it may continue lower. So that is what you need to be aware of. But should this area hold as support, that is 1.2569 to 1.25 25.38. Should these two areas hold that support, then there's a possibility price may move above this area. But for now, this is your resistance structure, this is your support structure. So you play it accordingly. So the next pair we're going to look at is USDJPY. Looking at the USDJPY, let's look at it from, there's a big trend line on this pair. A very, very long-term trend line. You see where the trend line is running from? As the top, this is a connecting level here. That's 125.28 to 11.14.55. So if you look at price on Friday was at that structure. As you can see, this is a daily close. The daily close broke above but closed back below that trend line. So now, what is the next game plan on this pair? Well, I think there is a weekly setup on this pair. I'm picking up something monthly. Let me check my weekly chart. Not so clear. Not so clear. So let's go to the intraday chart. So if you look at this pair, there is a possibility that it may drop from here. There is a possibility it may drop from here. Already you have what I call a higher leg double top. You can see this high here, and they made the higher high. So there is a possibility that price may give bearish evidence towards this low or this other low. So let's measure it. If it gives bearish evidence from here to here, that's like 41 pips from this point to this point. So what kind of bearish evidence will you be waiting for? You'll be waiting for a bearish engulfing without a long lower wick. That's safer. If you get a bearish engulfing and you have a long lower wick, leave it. The bearish engulfing is not supposed to have a long lower wick. That shows rejection is the pattern. So that's what you'll be waiting for to see how it plays out tomorrow. If it gives you, then you can take a short position to this area. But should this area get broken, then we might see further move down to this area. So that is it for the USDJPY. So the next one we're going to look at is the Euro-Yen. Let's see the Euro-Yen. Looking at the Euro-Yen, let me hide my analysis so that you guys can see what I'm trying to show you. This Euro-Yen, there's a trend line. There's a trend line and then there's a big channel. You see the big channel there? See the big channel? Then there's another trend line. You see the trend line from this point to this point. So now let me hide my tools so that I can explain some things to you guys. If you look at this chart, those of you who are in the group will understand there is structure here. That's where price ran into and gave a bearish engulfing pattern. As you can see, this engulfing candle took out 1, 2, 3. 3 days worth of activity was taken out by one candle. So how are you going to trade this intraday? It's very simple. Wait for the pullback. That's why if you notice, I had my fib here. What you do is only on Friday's candle you place your fib and wait for price either at the 38, 50% or 618. They call it this golden zone. So you'll be watching from this area. You'll be watching from 38 is at 1.2240 to 1.2256. That's from this zone to this zone. That's where you'll be watching the pullback. But I am of the impression that it may pull back to 12253. I am of the impression it may pull back deeply to 12253 before it starts moving back. So that's what we'll be waiting for here. And you can see that level I pointed out is a prior high here. So it might pull back into the area then before continuing lower. Then the next one we're going to look at is GBPJPY, pound yen. Now the pound yen closed. Wow, now this is a bearish signal. This is a good bearish signal. If you look at this pair on the daily, you can see there's a channel here, and it closed above the channel on Thursday, but by Friday it closed back inside the channel. That's a bearish signal. So there is a possibility that this pair may pull back to test this top trend line before moving lower. So the same system you could use the fib retracement tool on only the daily candle of Friday. Let me see. Only the daily candle of Friday and expect to pull back. So I'm of the opinion it may come up to this level. So let me place my level here and place my alert here so that once price gets there, so that once price gets there, it's the level I will be interested in. Yeah. That is 143.90, the level I'm interested in taking a short position. Because even if you look at this, there seems to be a small trend line here. This power, there seems to be a small trend line. Let me see if I can get it. Small trend line from here, like this. Have a little trend line here. So something like this. Something like this. So it might hit this trend line and move back up. So as you can see, the trend line is pretty close. But if it breaks this trend line, then you know it might be coming down here. But I'll prefer a little pullback, given the way the candle closed on Friday. Bearish. But see this can pass for railway track. It's a bearish railway track. So you wait for a little bit of pullback and you move lower. And the next one we're going to be looking at is the AUDUSD. So looking at the AUDUSD. At the AUDUSD. Looking at the AUDUSD. Let me get rid of this. Looking at it from the weekly candle, 61.8 of this high to this low, from this low to this high. Let me hide this low so you see what I'm talking. You see this swing from this point to this point. Price has tested the 61.8. That was what caused this bounce. But if you look at the close on Friday, it might be coming back into this level. Should this level hold, you might see it move higher. But should this level fail, then you'll be seeing price come into this lower channel. As you can see, let me zoom out a bit so you guys can see here. From this point to this point, you see it rejected from the top. So there is a possibility it may come down here before moving back up. So that's what we have on the AUDUSD. So the next pair we're going to look at is where it is for now. So if this area should hold, then you might see it move high. A better short setup would be from either any of these top areas. So this is the intraday charting for the AUDUSD. So next pair we're going to look at is the EURAUD. So looking at the EURAUD, you have you can see it's not looking very, very pretty. Wicks to the top side, wicks to the bottom. Shows you serious consolidation. So if you're trading this pair, you just need to be extra careful. You just need to be extra careful. So as you can see, this is the setup we're looking at. This seems to be the support being respected. That's at 1.697. And this seems to be the first resistance at 1.6172 and this topmost area. So I think I need to place an alert here so that because this area is an area of interest and this other area. So that's a setup. It's more like a consolidation. It's more like a consolidation. So you just have to play it the way it is. Because looking at it on the daily, you can see it clearly on the daily. It's more like sideways movement. That's what you have on the daily. So there seems to be a trend line. There seems to be a trend line from this point to this point. Shows you that there's what might pass for a rising trend line. Then if you draw from the top again, there seems to be something from this point to this point. So as you can see, that's where price is trapped in at the moment. That's where price is trapped in at the moment. So it's more like a consolidation. So next pair we're going to look at is the GBPAUD. So looking at GBPAUD from a daily point of view. If you zoom out a bit, you're looking something like head and shoulders, as you can see, left, head, right. Here's the neckline. Here's the neckline. And I say there are two necklines. And you have another one from here to here. So basically, how do you trade this? How do you trade this? So let me look at it from my intraday charting. My intraday charting is how I map out how to take the chart, the pair on an intraday basis. So I think I didn't work on this. So I think that might be it for today. Let me see if I worked on UCAD. I don't think I have anything on this GBPAUD. Let me see if I have anything on UCAD. UCAD. There seems to be a channel from here to here. Then at the stop area, okay. Then for this UCAD also, you have the structure here that is giving price a bit of a challenge. Here, you have this resistance here that is giving price a bit of a challenge. So question now is, if you get a daily close above this level, then you must be rest assured price is coming up towards this area. The price is coming up towards. Or should it pull back? Should it pull back from this area and you're looking to take a long position, the area to watch from is at this level here. That's 1.3002. This area will give you a good shorting opportunity. That should price pull into this area and start moving back up. You might take a long position. Then remember we have the Canadian rate news on Wednesday by 4 p.m. Central West African time. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you all for attending of the review, and for the students graduating from the 6-week class, I wish you all the best. Remember, you are personally responsible for your success. If you do not practice, it is going to leave you. You must put in the effort to get the reward. And those of you still on the sideline, registration for the 6-week class is still ongoing, starting on the 27th of January. So if you wish to get details, you could also reach out to me on any of these channels here. This is my phone line. This is my Twitter handle, and this is my Instagram. You can either send a message to this line. Also is a WhatsApp number, so you can either send a message or call. So I thank you all for coming, and I wish you all a blessed night, a blessed week, and a beautiful trading day. Thank you all for coming. The video will be posted up to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Trade Your Plan. Plan your trade, trade your plan. So thank you all for coming, and a blessed night to everybody.